The crypto market took a quick and brutal dip this morning. The volatility in the markets right now is extreme. Massive moves up, massive moves down. But don't be fooled. Don't be tricked by the whales. We are in a bull market right now, and the dips are for buying. This is exactly what the big money is doing. My name is Lark, and this is where you subscribe for all of the hottest and all of the latest happening out here in the crazy markets. By the way, if you are watching all the gains happening in the market right now and you're thinking about trying your hand at trading cryptocurrencies, then you had absolutely better take that seriously and get educated on the topic before risking your money trading crypto. My beginner's trading course will take you through all of the essentials that you need to get started trading as a beginner. We cover top breakout patterns, the best indicators to use for the crypto market. We look at time frames, how to read a chart, understanding what candlesticks are, the real basics for a beginner trader. As well, we'll look at stuff like how to manage risk, how to set great stop losses, and much more. So click on the link down below in the description to learn more about that course. Now let's talk about what Bitcoin has been doing today. Now sadly, that symmetrical triangle that we were talking about yesterday did not play out in our favor. Unfortunately, it did see a breakdown, not a break up. In fact, Bitcoin had a pretty brutal drop of around 16% in the last sort of 24 hours. The one single hourly candle actually hitting almost minus 9%. Wowzers. This is savage in a way that only Bitcoin can be savage. Although, interestingly, this big sell-off wick actually came back down to test the previous zone of resistance, flipping it into support around $34,500 for bouncing higher. That's technically a bullish move. You can also see on this chart that we had a very similar short-lived correction happen on the 4th of January, which is also a flip of previous resistance into support around $27,500. Those two levels, I think, are now critical in terms of Bitcoin support, particularly $34,500. That's our most recent one. Now, famous investor Bill Miller gave an interview on CNBC the other day, and he said something that I think is absolutely spot on. Bitcoin's volatility is the price that you pay for performance. Smart guy, Bill. Anyway, if this market correction plays out in a similar way to the last one, obviously we've already seen a big rebound, but we could actually see this actually being like the launch pad, you know, the springboard, the trampoline effect here for a bullish retest of a breakout. So that could be coming in the days to come here. Now, look, I just have to underline too, this is a bull market, right? And bull market rules apply. The first and most important rule in a bull market is to buy the freaking dips. And considering just how incredibly aggressively these dips are being bought up right now, then my guess is that is exactly what the big money players are doing. Remember the last time MicroStrategy bought Bitcoin was the dip back down to like $21,000 or something like that. People thought he was crazy back then. Now he's almost doubled his money. We see these new players coming in. They're buying Bitcoin by the 100 million at a time, but they're smart. They're buying on red days. They have, bots set up to buy when the market dips by more than 10 or 20% on a day, right? That explains why we're seeing such incredible recoveries that are just going so fast, right? Anytime a dip happens, we basically see it gobbled up within a few minutes. This is not likely to change that dramatically over 2021, at least not while we continue to have such high demand for Bitcoin from all these institutional players. They're all scrambling right now, trying to get themselves a piece of that Bitcoin pie. Now, the institutional players who bought last week, they're not gunning for a 5% gain. And they're not going to panic sell on a 20% dip. Quite the opposite. They're the ones buying the 20% dips. They fully understand the value proposition of Bitcoin. They understand the game theory behind Bitcoin, the scarcity of Bitcoin. These guys are going for a Bitcoin that's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, not tens of thousands of dollars a coin. These guys are not going to be cashing out anytime soon. Some of these guys might even be taking like 10-year time frames, which is way more than the average retail investor is taking. They might be looking looking for that $1 million Bitcoin, going for the big play here. So follow the big money, watch what the big money is doing. It's usually very indicative of what's happening in the market. Understand those whale games, right? There are very rich and very powerful players in this market who are very good at manipulating the market. They're good at playing the game, right? And they play the game with billions of dollars in capital at a time. They shake the market with massive sell-offs, while at the same time shorting the market. Then when the market's down, they take your Bitcoin that you panic sold after a 10% drop, rinse and repeat, gaining more Bitcoin, adding to their positions. This is the process of trying to shake you out of your position. Remember, friends, don't be whale food. Even if you feel like your investment account is little more than plankton floating around in this sea of money in the market, you are not plankton. No, you are a human, right? Not plankton, a human. And as a human, you can learn from the very clever Remora. Follow the whale. Do as the whale does, right? Mimic their behavior. Which means when you see red, you buy. You buy. This is a bull market, guys. Remember the game. Buy low, sell high. Not the other way around. Don't get shaken out of the first sign of turbulence. Hold on to your Bitcoin, wait for those dips, and then add to positions. Now, you can try to swing trade the market if you want. Some people do that successfully, right? If you've got the time and energy to do that. But remember, there are probably swing traders out there who sold at $12,000 waiting for Bitcoin to come back down to fill like a $9,000 CME gap or something that never, of course, got filled. And those guys are still waiting for that gap to get filled, or they FOMO bought at like 20K, right? The simple reality is that time in the market is better than trying to time the market. You just need to buy and hold Bitcoin. It's that easy. That leads me up, of course, to the next bull market tip here. Don't over leverage yourself. Yes, you can trade. You can do this. You're an experienced trader. You can actually get out there and do some trading. And yes, you can trade on leverage, but keep it chill if you're using leverage. Please, 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 please. A liquidation price, for example, on a 3x Bitcoin long is around $28,000 right now. So the smart traders, they play with low leverage, and they will have been just fine during today's dip. They wouldn't even come close to the liquidation price. Whereas over leveraged traders using 20x leverage will have been liquidated and got wrecked. So please be careful. If you find yourself getting liquidated often, then you're probably using too much leverage, or you might not want to be leverage trading at all if you maybe just want to do spot trading, right? Remember, leverage is a tool for experienced traders, and you should be able to successfully make gains with spot market trading way before you get into trading with leverage. And if you are an investor, of course, you can also build on your gains outside of just holding. And of course, yeah, just buy and hold Bitcoin in a ledger. It's the safest method without a doubt. You sit back and just watch the number go up. It's a good time. But if you're looking to maximize those gains, but with a lot less risk than trying to trade, then what I do personally with a decent proportion of my stack is actually lend it out on BlockFi, right? So I've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDC just kind of sitting over there, right? Chilling in the interest account, making more of themselves every month to get that interest statement, right? Very low stress, just kind of automates in the background. And of course, you can get a $250 bonus if you use the link down below in the description to sign up for BlockFi if you do want to check out that service. Again, I use the service. I've used it for a long time. I absolutely love it. It's a great way just to earn some passive income on the side. And of course, this is a crypto bull market, not a Bitcoin bull market, even though, of course, Bitcoin has been kind of leading the rally recently. It's not always like that. Remember DeFi summer about 6 months ago? That was DeFi's time. And altcoins, here's the reality, are going to be where the biggest gains happen in this market. Bitcoin right now stands a pretty good chance to make a 5x move during the rest of this bull run, which would be phenomenal, beyond belief. But if you want to make really big gains, percentage-wise, then it's going to be altcoins that do it. This is where you're going to get a 100x move coming from. So unless you have $40,000 to buy a Bitcoin, you may want to be looking for altcoins, right? As an example, Ramp DeFi, it's now done almost a 5x move since I first mentioned it. That I was buying it on Twitter in December. If you're not following me on Twitter, make sure to check me out on Twitter, by the way. And also, it's up since I first talked about it here on YouTube. So in just 1 month, I got the same kind of gains that I might get on Bitcoin at the peak of this bull run. And by the way, I think that Ramp DeFi has a lot of room left to run. So, you know, my first take profit target's actually at $1. So I think this one's going to really go. But anyway, that's a different point. But that brings me to a more important point on altcoins. Yes, this is a bull market. And the reality of a bull market is that we're going to see total dumpster fire garbage also pumping. Bitcoin Satoshi Vision, as an example, was up 60% yesterday. But the best investments will be with fundamentally strong cryptocurrencies, with good teams, good products, good investors behind them, right? Good market ideas that people are actually going to want to use these products. And look, if you want to just make a relatively safe 5x gain during this bull run, you know, preserve your wealth long-term with Bitcoin, it's the lowest risk thing that you can do in this market. So that's cool. I totally respect people who want to do that, and that's their kind of game plan. But if you can afford to take risks, if you're dreaming bigger, looking to make bigger gains, it's altcoins, guys. It's altcoins. That's the year we're in right now. Just remember, though, that the altcoin game, well, potentially being very profitable, is also very risky. So you must remember to take profits routinely, to lock in your gains, to protect yourself from unexpected downside in any of these altcoins. But this is your chance. This is your year. We don't get these kind of gains all the time. Life-changing gains will be made in the market this year. And if you play your cards right, then you can achieve financial freedom that you know you're probably here for, why you're investing in cryptocurrencies in the first place. It can be done, but only if you remember to hit the frickin' sell button at some point. Anyway, your question for today: what one cryptocurrency investment do you think is going to make you a millionaire during this bull run? Let me know down below in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and peace out till next time.